Good day to you. You're watching Beyond the Test Drive, and we finally have got our first glimpse and some information about the third gen, the 2026 Mazda CX-5. It debuted earlier this morning. Mazda did it in its typical low-key style, but they've been giving some teasers the last couple weeks or last month or so, and we finally got to see it. So this has been a long time coming. Mazda's very, very careful and conservative with their CX-5. It is globally one of their most important vehicle. It probably is the most important vehicle across the globe. In the United States, at least, it probably is the car that keeps Mazda going. There is no Miatas, there's probably no CX-90s, or they could have gone under years ago if they hadn't had the success that they had with the CX-5. So this is absolutely a critical update. This is only the third update since it debuted in 2012. About 1.6 million units have been sold in the US, so this is critical. So let's just talk about the exterior. You know, the big news here is it's just bigger. 4 inches, that's dramatic size change. It's 4 inches bigger, about a ½ inch wider. It's got like a 3-inch longer wheelbase. So they did exactly what people were complaining about when it came to space in that back seat. Now apparently it looks to be class leading according to Mazda, and from some of the video they took, it does look really spacious back there. They also gave the CX-5 the almost 90-degree opening rear doors that you're seeing across their other cars, which just make getting in and out and putting stuff and car seats in the back so much easier. The other thing with the exterior styling is it looks just like a CX-5. You wouldn't know the difference. Obviously, fans of the CX-5 will pick up real fast, but the front end, they've adopted the CX-70. The rest of the lineup's architecture on the front grille, the lighting. The rear lighting is from or inspired by the CX-70 also. And I think the bigger visual thing on the outside is there's that black cladding around the bottom. You know, on the upper trims of the old CX-5, that could be just painted, so we'll see what the trim levels offer there. Looks pretty good because it's pretty thin. The other interesting thing is they got rid of the Mazda logo on the rear. They just spelled out in a new font Mazda, so that's kind of interesting. I'm neutral on that. Leave in the comments what you think there. The other thing, if you jump on the inside, they also got rid of the Mazda logo on the steering wheel. So all in all, I think on the outside they did the right thing. They just made it bigger, kept it looking like a CX-5, and they did stress in their debut that this is their urban. They envision this in the urban environment. It is all-wheel drive standard, but it's that CX-50 that they're marketing or trying to push towards the more outdoorsy, rugged crowd. So it picks up that, it keeps that elegant urban city vibe going, and yeah, it looks pretty good in that crystal soul red. Looks like they're maintaining that. This also had the black wheels on it, so again, European model, so there may be some changes around the bumper areas for North America versus what we're seeing here. Jumping into the interior, again, a complete redesign. Definitely going or staying minimalist here as far as the overall vibe and look. They did say they took inspiration from the CX-70, CX-90. I have to admit, I was hoping it would be almost a reduced version of the CX-70, CX-90 interior, because that's a home run visually. But again, trying to keep the cost down, different cost point, different, obviously different enough. But I would say the biggest news on the inside, regardless of the looks, there is no more scroll wheel. It's gone, and you can see that they're showing the available 2-inch massive touchscreen right there. I'm not sure. That looks a little maybe a little out of place, but that is optional. Maybe the base one looks a little bit more normal. This is the first Mazda in a long time that has not had the scroll wheel. You know, Mazda, I guess, has been taking some heat on that for many years, so I guess they're just like, okay, fine, no scroll wheel, massive screen, we'll just be like everybody else. Now, the other big news with that is Google. This is a Google-driven infotainment system, so that's going to be really good, because all the other cars I've been in with that system, it is excellent. That way they don't have to do their own thing or make their own thing. They're just doing the Google system, which works really well, especially Google Maps. It's lightning fast, looks great. So yeah, other than the massive screen, I think that whole center area looks good. I think it's interesting that they're not showing too much about the instrument cluster itself. I am sure it's digital, or at least it better be, and hopefully it looks just like the CX-76-90 digital cluster, because that looks really good. Probably one of my favorite digital instrument clusters out there. But curious, they're not showing any close-ups of that. Oh, and they're also showing, at least this model, they're showing panoramic sunroof. So again, catching up with all the competition there. I'm sure that will be popular. But you can just kind of get a sense from some of these images here that it is much larger, brighter inside. And then when you back out or go out to the rear storage area, you know, that is 2 inches longer. Again, way more capacity back there for just putting things. And when you fold the floors or fold that second row, they get a nice flat load floor. All right, let's move on to the engine and transmission, because that's probably the more, I don't want to say disappointing thing, but there is going to be a hybrid system, but that's not coming until 2027. The one we're seeing here is going to be on sale in 2026, and that's going to come with the regular old 2.5 naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and that 6-speed transmission that's been in every Mazda now for a long time. So this one's coming in 26. 2027 is where you're going to see the SkyActive Z with the hybrid system, and I think that's going to be highly anticipated, but that's a couple years off right now, or at least a year and a half off. They did not say anything at all about the suspension. So right now the CX-5 is the only one in their lineup, at least amongst the CX-3650 Mazda 3, that has the independent versus a torsion beam rear. So they did not say anything about that. So if it does have the independent, it's going to handle just as well as the outgoing one. Again, it's going to be a little bit wider, so it should be fairly nimble. Don't expect any big changes in fuel economy, again, with that same engine. So, but the crazy thing about that engine is it's still pretty good. The six speed and that 4-cylinder are so well sorted, and they're competitive in their class with their power and torque, and you wind it out, it sounds good. So no CVTs, but that 6-speed is excellent. So it's just a little long in the tooth. So anyway, I don't know if that's disappointing to you. Definitely leave a comment below on what you're thinking about that. Safety wise is another big thing. I have no doubt this is probably going to be one of the safer small SUVs in its class. Mazda is highly intertwined with organizations like the IIHS as far as their crash testing. They are extremely proactive for a small company to make sure their cars crash well. Well, anyway, what do you guys think? Was this a thrilling debut? Was it a lackluster? Are you excited for the new one? Are you gonna wait to the 26? Or are you gonna go out and get yourself a deal on a 25? Oh, I should mention, no turbos. So if you want a CX-5 with the turbo, you better go get it now. Overall, I think this was the right move by Mazda. They did not want to dink with success too much. They addressed all the major issues with it as far as interior space, a new interior, way bigger, way more storage, but it still looks like a CX-5. It's paying homage to this critical vehicle that has kept the Mazda going. So I think they had to do that. The other thing I think is, yeah, the anticipation of the hybrid system. A little disappointing that it didn't debut right now, another year out. So anyway, leave your questions and comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this debut. We'd love to answer your questions and get the dialogue going. Also, please check out our entire channel. We do have a lot of Mazda content. We're a little Mazda centric on some cars that we own. As you can see, we're in our Mazda 3. So check it all out. If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe. We'd love to have you along for the drive. Definitely leave a like today if you got any value. That helps us more than anything. And as always, have a great day, morning, or evening, wherever you may be.